Your medical records were requested by a law firm, the doctor's office called to say. I'm not in any legal trouble, but my husband filed for divorce yesterday. I sat in my car outside the grocery store trying to process what I'd just heard. Why would a law firm need my medical records? I wasn't suing anyone. The only legal thing happening in my life was the divorce papers Dominic had served me 24 hours ago. After 11 years of marriage, he'd handed me an envelope and said he wasn't happy anymore. No warning, no counseling suggestion, just done. I called the doctor's office back. Can you tell me which law firm requested them? The receptionist hesitated. I really shouldn't, but given the circumstances. It was Brennan and Associates. They specialize in family law, divorce attorneys. My husband's divorce attorneys were requesting my medical records before I even had time to process being served. I drove home in a fog. Dominic had already moved out. He'd been staying at his brother's place since he handed me the papers. The house felt massive and empty without him. I sat at the kitchen table and pulled up Brennan and Associates on my laptop. Top divorce firm in the state, known for aggressive tactics. Why would Dominic need an aggressive divorce attorney? We had a prenup. We'd agreed on terms before we ever got married, unless he was trying to break the prenup. My hands started shaking. Our prenup had a clause. If either party could prove the other was unfit, mentally or physically, the prenup could be voided. Whoever was deemed unfit would get nothing. I called my sister. Ren, I need you to come over right now. 20 minutes later, Renata was reading through the prenup while I paced the living room. He's going after the fitness clause, she said quietly. That's why he wants your medical records. But I'm not unfit. I'm completely healthy. Renata looked up at me with concern. Are you? When's the last time you saw a doctor? 6 months ago, I'd gone in for anxiety. The stress of Dominic working late every night, the distance growing between us. The doctor had prescribed anti-anxiety medication. Nothing serious. You think he's going to use my anxiety diagnosis against me? I think a good lawyer can make anything sound bad. Mentally unstable wife requires psychiatric medication. It doesn't have to be true. It just has to create doubt. I felt sick. Dominic knew about my anxiety. He'd held me during panic attacks. He'd driven me to the doctor himself. Now he was weaponizing my mental health to take everything. The next morning, I hired my own attorney. Greta Blackwell had a reputation for destroying men who tried to screw over their wives. He's building a case that you're mentally unfit, Greta confirmed. Classic move, except he made a mistake. What mistake? He requested your records before the divorce was filed. That request is timestamped 3 days before you were served. I stared at her. He planned this. This was premeditated, and in divorce court, premeditation looks very bad. Greta started digging. What she found made my blood boil. Dominic had been having an affair for 2 years. Her name was Celine, and she worked at his company. Hotel receipts on his corporate card. Text messages he thought he'd deleted. Photos on his cloud backup. Greta smiled like a shark smelling blood. Your prenup has another clause, infidelity. If either party commits adultery, they forfeit their claim to marital assets. So he gets nothing? Less than nothing. He violated the prenup first, and he tried to fraudulently claim you were unfit to cover his tracks. The court date came faster than expected. Dominic walked in looking confident in his expensive suit. His attorney had that smug energy of someone who thought they'd already won. Then Greta presented the evidence, the affair, the premeditated records request, the fraudulent attempt to invoke the fitness clause. I watched Dominic's face crumble in real time. Mr. Aldrich, you filed for divorce claiming your wife was mentally unfit while simultaneously conducting a 2-year affair. You attempted to weaponize her medical records to steal marital assets you were never entitled to. The judge looked at him with pure disgust. I'm granting Mrs. Aldrich full ownership of the marital home, both vehicles, and 70% of shared assets. I'm also referring this matter to the Bar Association. Outside the courthouse, Dominic tried to talk to me. I never meant for it to go this far. You wanted to destroy me so you could run off with your girlfriend guilt-free. I stepped closer. You held me during panic attacks and then tried to use them against me. He had nothing to say. Selene was waiting in the parking lot. I drove home to my house, just mine now. Renata had champagne waiting. To new beginnings.